Pero itong ating pinag-uusapan ngayon, merong kinalaman sa mga legislation na aming gagawin later on. That is why I am asking you right now. Sapagkat napakahalaga nito. Kapag binabanggit mo, if you're saying that using profanities, insults, and malicious accusations online represent fair and respectful discourse and a healthy discourse, therefore you're telling us that the freedom of expression is absolute. You can say anything you want, and that is freedom of expression. Yun ang sinasabi ko, Mr. Chair.
May I respond, Mr. Chair?
Pag binanggit mo, if you said that freedom of expression is not absolute, therefore, there are certain things that you cannot say. Yun ang ibig sabihin nung freedom of expression is not absolute. May limitation yun.
Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo ngayon. DDS vloggers na ipinatawag sa TRICOM hearing sa Kongreso, bumaliktad na at inamin na kung sino ang totoong nag-utos sa kanila upang gumawa ng misinformation at magpakalat ng fake news hinggil sa administrasyon ng BBM. Nakakagulat ang kanilang naging revelasyon hinggil sa papel ni VP Sara Duterte sa kanila bilang DDS vloggers. Matatandaang ipinatawag ang ilang mga kilalang mga personalidad na tinawag ng mga DDS vloggers sa TRICOM committee hearing ng Kongreso upang sagutin ang mga controversial contents nila. Kabilang na ang di umano'y nakakabahalang misinformation hinggil sa the West Philippine Sea na tila pumapanig sa China, political persecution at pamamahiya sa ilang mga kilalang opisyal ng gobyerno at tahasang pambabatikos sa pamahalaang BBM. Sa gitna ng interpellation ay nagkainitan ang mga DDS vloggers at ilang mga kongresista, lalo na si Congressman Abante at ang vlogger na si De Vebre, hanggang sa na-cite and contempt ni Congressman Paduano ang isa sa mga DDS vlogger. Layunin ng TRICOM na gumawa ng hakbang sa pamamagitan ng paghingi ng tulong sa mga representatives ng sikat na mga social media platforms kabilang ng Meta at TikTok upang mabawasan ang paglaganap ng misinformation sa social media na labis na nakakaapekto sa mga Pilipino. Naniniwala ang mga mamabatas na mayroong malalaking personalidad na nasa likod ng mga content creators na ito, kung kaya malakas umano ang loob nila upang gumawa ng mapanirang mga contents. Inaasahan na sa susunod na mga pagdinig ng TRICOM hearing ay mas lalo pang mabubunyag ang mga personalidad na nasa likod nito at meron pang mga ipapatawag na mga sangkot dito.
You insulting me on my public official functions, or it is a personal accusation on me?
It's not a personal accusation, Mr. Chair, and I think we have agreed early on that we do not have any personal relationship.
Yes, that's right. Pero ito, ang sabi ni Elijah, okay lang yon kung yan ay sinabi in my official functions as a public servant. Alam mo ba yung official functions ko?
Yes, Mr. Chair, and
Alam mo. So therefore, hindi ka naniniwala sa aking official functions, kaya tinawag mo akong gago.
no, Mr. Chair, the observation that I uttered to describe your performance of your official action, that is my observation. That is what I felt.
Well, inobserbuhan mo ba yung aking official functions?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Inobserbuhan mo since I won in 2019?
No, Mr. Chair. I closely monitored your performance as a congressman in the 19th Congress.
And you hated me for that?
No, not really, Mr.
Hindi,
Chair.
gago. Binagit mo sa akin, gago. So you hated me, Mr. Chair. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? Binanggit mo, gago ako. Binanggit mo, isasampal ko ito sa pagmumukha mo. Binanggit mo, I'm going to be... Hindi ko mabanggit eh.
Okay.
If you prepared, binanggit mo yun eh. Oo. Therefore, you hated me. Hindi mo ko... Hindi pwedeng sabihin mo sa akin na you love me. Is that the person that you said that you love me?
Hello.
I love you and because of that, isasampal ko ito sa'yo.
May I respond, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, go ahead. Sige,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, go ahead, respond.
At the very most, I do not like your performance as a member of the 19th Congress. But hate is such a powerful word because we established earlier that we do not have any personal relationship or any
Kaya nga, Mr.
personal
Chair,
relation.
binanggit mo, binanggit mo yung
the-
human rights.
Yes,
Binanggit mo
Mr.
yan kanina,
Chair.
di ba?
Correct, Mr.
Therefore,
Chair.
Mr. Chair, you violated my human rights. Why? Because when you said those profanities, those insult, yung gago, yung isasampol ko ito sa pagubukha mo, you violated my human rights. You did.
May I respond, Mr.
Oh,
Chair?
teka, Mr. Chair, hindi ako nagagalit sa'yo. Okay? At wala akong pakialam sa'yo. Kahit na anong sabihin mo, okay lang sa akin. Alright? Pero itong ating pinag-uusapan ngayon, merong kinalaman sa mga legislation na aming gagawin later on. That is why I am asking you right now. Sapagkat napakahalaga nito. Kapag binabanggit mo, if you're saying that using profanities, insults, and malicious accusations online represent fair and respectful discourse and a healthy discourse, therefore you're telling us that the freedom of expression is absolute. You can say anything you want, and that is freedom of expression. Yun ang sinasabi ko, Mr. Chair.
May I respond, Mr.
Sapagkat,
Chair?
pag binanggit mo, if you said that freedom of expression is not absolute, therefore, there are certain things that you cannot say. Yun ang ibig sabihin nung freedom of expression is not absolute. May limitation yun.
Kanilang known to be their friends and allies in the vlogging community, nakipag-communicate naman sila sa ating mga membro ng komite. So pagkakataon nila ito para under oath ma-express na nga rin nilang kanilang sarili at ma-explain nila kung bakit sila naglalabas ng ganung mga balita at probably mabigyan ang komite ng mga inputs na mas maganda pa, na mapapangganda yung magiging resulta nitong TRICOM na ito, which is magpasa ng isang batas na ayon sa pag-regulate sa mga fake news.
Pero sir, follow-up ko lang po kasi yung tatlo po sa kanila apparently nasa labas po ng bansa. So hindi po ba parang baka po kasi maulit yung kay Harry Roque na hindi na talaga siya nakaharap, pumunta pa ng ibang bansa na nag-apply pa for asylum.
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung mga courses of action na gagawin nila, but as far as we are concerned, sila ay they're continuously skipping the committee hearings. They're frustrating the committee deliberation, and kung ano man yung magiging takbo ng kanilang magiging development, kung paano nila iwasan itong committee hearings, ay nasa sa kanila. I think if you ask me, to the detriment, because reputation-wise, that would speak how, yung sinasabi nilang, kasi these are people who would try to display themselves as heroes and honorables, but how can you even say that you are a hero or portray yourself as honorable if you don't even have the gall to face a legitimate inquiry and to exercise, your right to explain to the public under oath that these are the things that you believed in?
Sir, next po is sa TRICOM pa rin, meron pong nabanggit si Commodore Tariela na merong Filipino vloggers pa po na nagpapakalat ng disinformation. And yung disinformation nila is more on paggiling po sa China. Ano po yung thoughts ninyo dito ng mga kapwa Pilipino pa po natin yung kumakampi?
Ito ay hindi lang fake news eh. Ito'y agarang pagtataksil sa ating bansa. It's so disturbing that there are Filipino vloggers who support the narrative, the false and negative narrative of China to claim ownership over a portion of our seas. No, it is not only to me. It's not only a betrayal or being yung pagiging traidor sa kanyang bansa. It's dismantling our sovereignty one post at a time. So para sa akin, just to be to be candid about it, pagtataksil at hindi siya karapat-dapat na tawaging Pilipino. So it's really disturbing that some of our Filipino kababayan are even pursuing the narrative of China. Remember, kung ikaw ay isang Pilipino, naniniwala sa integridad at sobereniya ng Pilipinas, hindi lang kasi yung issue ng teritoryo ang pinag-uusapan dito. Yung mga harassment na ginagawa sa mga most vulnerable sector in our community, mga fishermen, tinan nyo yung mga nangyayari sa kanila doon. Maski yung man lang yung maging konsiderasyon mo para magkaroon ng ganong paniniwala na dapat talaga hindi suportahan kung ano man yung naratibo ng China. You forget about national security, just being Filipino. No? Kawawa yung mga nangyayari sa ating mga fishermen dyan sa area na yan, no? Sa West Philippine Sea. Yun man lang, I think that would be enough for a Filipino to really say na hindi dapat maging supportive doon sa naratibo ng China sa pag-angkin nila dito sa West Philippine Sea.
Sir, sorry, last na lang po. Baka lang po, meron po bang move ang House leadership to extend help? Kasi based po sa announcement ng DFA, may 2 na po tayong kababayang Pilipino
tama.
na nasawi sa Myanmar po.
Well, unang-una po, tayo po yung nakikiramay sa pamilya po nung nasawi na sa lindol na nangyari sa Myanmar. I think ang teacher ata to, no? Teacher ba siya? Guro, no? So tayo po ay nakikiramay, no? And I'm sure our DFA is doing its level best to provide assistance and support to to yung naging biktima, to the victims, and as well as to provide assistance for the family kung ano man yung kinakailangan ng ating mga kababayan, kung yung mga reparation processes ng kanilang kailangan na i-provide natin. I'm sure the DFA is also doing that, continuously engaging with Myanmar government para mabibigyan ng sapat na assistance yung ating mga kababayan na lalong-lalo na yung mga nabiktima at nasawi ditong lindol na itong nakaraang linggo. So yun, I pray that they would be transported back home so that makakasama man lang sila ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. I'm sure the House of Representatives will come up with the possible, yung immediate na assistance na po pwedeng maibigay. Kasi nagbibigay naman din tayo ng tulong pinansyal, halimbawa, sa mga naging mga biktima ng mga kalamidad nitong nakaraang taon.
Hello, Miss Sai, Congress TV.
Good morning po. Since natanong na halos lahat, siguro sundan ko na lang po yung last question po about Commodore Tariela. Paano po ba natin dapat papanagutin yung mga pro-China vloggers na maging accountable po sila sa pagpapakalat ng mga fake news po about West Philippine Sea?
May mga may mga batas naman talaga tayo na in places. May mga against Anti-Sedition Act, there are a lot of legal ways in order to make our kababayan accountable for supporting a foreign claim which is diametrically opposed to our national interest. So sa pagkakaalam ko, based on the mga committee hearings ng aking na puntahan sa TRICOM. Meron namang ongoing na build-up cases, no? Doon sa mga suspected na mga mouthpieces ng China dito sa ating bansa. So I'm sure yung legal way on how to make them accountable, meron naman tayong mga batas na nanandyan. May anti-sedition and many others, no? Thank you.
For today's last question, Red Mendoza from Manila Times.
Hi po, Kong. Marami-rami po akong tatanong sa inyo.
Sige, tanungin mo na.
First off, nag-comment po si Professor Ana Malindog Uy sa insinuation niya na siyang pro-China vlogger siya. Sinabi niya na ano daw, her consistent criticism of the government's confrontational and belligerent stance in the South China Sea should not be equated with disinformation. Sabi niya, would having such a perspective be tantamount to spreading fake news? And idikit ko na rin po ito, sinabi po ito ni Lorraine Badoy kagabi, na Congress daw is the most rotten organization daw, led by Speaker Martin Romualdez. And sinabi niya na dapat daw hindi raw iboto yung mga member ng TRICOM. Ito yung sabi niya sa statement niya na the Martin Romualdez-led Congress will go down in Philippine history as the most rotten, the most bizarre even. Congress that ever blighted this noble nation of ours. A suppurative ball that needs to be lanced for the putrid rot it holds. Kung, of course, itong mga statements na ito, of course, this is in relation doon sa mga sinabi nila sa TRICOM committee. What's your take on this po?
Maraming tanong yun. No? Unahin muna natin yung sinabi mong Filipino vlogger.
Si columnist po namin siya, si Professor Malindog Uy.
Well, there's no problem if you're sharing your personal opinion and observation on the ongoing development over the West Philippine Sea. But if your opinion is diametrically opposed to our territorial claim over this land, then that's become an issue of national security concern. Second,
Yung kay Badoy po.
Badoy, I do not expect praises from them. So let's just leave it at that. Thank you.
Second question po. Kanina po nakabalita po na yung Chinese businessman po natagpo ang patay po sa May Rodriguez Rizal. And of course, sinabi po ni Speaker Romualdez dati na fake news daw yung mga increasing crime rate sa bansa. Pero ito, may Chinese businessman po na namatay sa nakitang patay po, kidnap for ransom po. Ang sinasabi daw pong dahilan, pogo daw po. Hindi po ba to, you said, diametrically opposed din po sa sinabi ni Speaker Romualdez na bumababa ang crime rate while we are looking into etong nangyaring incident na ito?
Well, one incident cannot just overrun and overhaul the data gathered by the PNP. No? Kasi nagre-rely tayo based on the criminal rate as submitted by the PNP. And all of the data, we presume, to be coming from the different PNP headquarters and across all of the across the country. So I will stand by the rate, criminal rate that has gone down as submitted by the PNP as something that is official. One incident cannot overhaul entirely the data, the official data that was collected by our different PNP posts all over the country. And what it says is the criminal rate has gone down.
Pero this is a Chinese tycoon, businessman
Hindi ko
po.
alam eh. Bago ba yan? Hindi ko,
Yes po.
I'm sorry, but I
Latest
cannot
po.
specifically comment on that specific incident involving a specific Chinese tycoon because I haven't heard of that incident yet.
Kasi po, ano po siya, kasi matagal na po siya napabalitang nakidnap. And ngayon po, nakot po siyang patay. So,
Let's
hindi po
call
ba-
on the PNP to do the investigation, a thorough investigation so that justice be served.
Pero hindi po ba ito nakakababa sa baka magkaroon ng takot yung mga investors sa atin because of this?
The inflation rate has gone down. It's 1.8 na ngayon. The employment rate has gone up. Yung the 3.8 ata, and our credit rating in the international community is very stable, and we have garnered the confidence of our international partners as far as our credit rating is concerned. So I don't see any reason why one incident would try to just simply dispel all of these achievements and progress that we have attained insofar as the issue of international investment is concerned. Again, if that is the case, I believe the person deserves justice. So I personally would like to call on the PNP to do a thorough investigation on this.
Last na lang po. Of course, we all heard about the tariffs, the Trump tariffs, yung wild weekend where the US president had slapped tariffs from across different countries, including the Philippines. I think 17% yata tayo. And then kagabi lang po, he took it back except for China. Of course, sinabi na ni Yusek Castro na hindi raw maapektuhan ang mga Pilipino sa tariffs na to. Pero of course, some of our products came from the United States and we are also exporting to the United States. So hindi po ba din nakaka-pressure ito, nakakatawa din po sa ating mga exporters to the United States? And of course, yung ibang mga products din galing China. So what is your take on this po sa mga tariffs na ito?
Oh, well, I think the executive branch has been doing a lot insofar as addressing this problem, should there be any problems that would come out, no? In terms of how the policy of the United States now is being exercised by their government. No? When it comes to the relationship with other nations, that is in a way cannot be decided upon by one single country like such as ours, because that would be internal to them. So I believe the relationship between the United States and the Philippines has been consistently going strong. With other bilateral talks or with other investment agreements with the United States, I believe our government is doing a lot and been in constant communication with their counterpart in the United States.
Super last. Do you think po ba kailan palakasin natin ang ating domestic production, domestic production, like yung mga negosyo natin, para at least mas stem natin yung issue sa tariffs ni US President Donald Trump?
Sa totoo lang, sabi ko nga, this concerns is an ongoing development. It's still an ongoing development, and I believe the Philippine government is in close contact and very much party is very much remains to be a very much a strong ally, not only the ongoing bilateral talks or in militarily or even economically. So ako,
Glad to be back dito sa Manila after a few weeks po na diretso tayo sa probinsya. Tuloy pa rin po ang trabaho natin dito sa Kongreso kahit naka-break. Magandang umaga po.
Thank you. Rosa Licas from UNTV for today's first question.
Good morning po, Kong. May latest dubious names po kayo na na-uncover sa ARs ng confidential funds ni VP Duterte. For soundbite purposes po, can you elaborate?
Well, dito kukunin natin. Magandang basahin na para makita natin yung mga celebrity names, yung mga napalabas na yung mga wala pong records ulit to, no? As nakita niyo naman po yung trend ng mga sunod-sunod na pangalan. Si Hanilet Camille C, si Fiona Biong, Fiona Villegas, Fiona Ranites, Ellen Magellan, saka si Erwin Q. Ewan, saka si Gary Tanada at si Joel Linangan. Ang daming Fiona, actually, na names. And yun nga, pare-pare, yung sa trend po natin talagang lahat po sila walang record sa PSA ng birth, death, saka marriage. Pero sabi ko nga po, maganda rin po na tignan natin yung mga number po, yung 600 plus na meron pong records. Kasi kailangan din po natin siguro na tignan kung nakatanggap nga po ba sila o meron silang mga nakuha na pondo. Para hindi lang yung mga walang pangalan. So, we will look into that as part po ng continuing po na trabaho natin dito sa House of Representatives.
Yung 600 po na may records sa PSA, how do you plan to get their records? Are you officially going to formally request the PSA to provide records of the 600 recipients?
Mga more or less mga 600 plus to sa OVP, then 200 plus po sa DepEd. As yung sa ginawa rin ng committee siguro, total itong mga pangalan na to, saka yung mga number of names na to, na-submit na at napag-usapan na during the hearing. So, we will do our own siguro mini investigation, pero nandiyan naman po yan sa committee level na, so makaka-request naman po tayo.
Sir, tapos na po ba kayo magrepaso ng 4,000 ARs ng confidential funds? Or may aasahan pa tayo makikitang mga dubious names na dadagdag doon po sa listahan?
Well, madami po yung pangalan eh. So, parang parang teleserye, 'di ba? Pakonti-konti may lumalabas. So, again, we have to verify. Mas maganda naman po na sigurado po tayo na itong mga pangalan na to meron or wala pong records.
Kung since part po kayo ng leadership pero hindi kayo part ng House Prosecution Panel, I guess the House prosecutors are updating you on the latest about their discussions and impeachment preparations. Can you share something to us po?
Itong nakaraang 2 linggo medyo I mean, I know that they're preparing and nag-aaral po sila. Pero ako po more on actually, galing sa inyo po yung mga latest na information na nasagap ko. Kasi nga, parang 2 linggo nga po na higit na nandun ako sa probinsya. Continuously campaigning, but tinitignan pa rin po natin yung mga nangyayari sa national scene. I know that they're preparing. I know that they're meeting. I'm not sure ng frequency nila kung gaano sila kadalas mag-meet saka mag-preps ngayon. But still, syempre, kahit na election po, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang trabaho ng prosecutors natin. On our part, syempre, we will support the leadership, we will support the House in terms of what we can do lang naman po. Kami naman po, nandito lang naka-ready na humaharap po sa taong bayan saka sa ating mga kaibigan sa media para mabigyan po ng kaukulang impormasyon regarding po dito sa parating po na impeachment natin.
Last on my part na lang po, nakabalik na po ng Pilipinas si VP Duterte kahapon, kagabi, after almost a month na pagstay sa The Hague para po asikasuhin yung kaso ng tatay niya after the